Okay, I'm taking a look at these percent problems. So the first one we want to do mentally, thinking about what how we would do that. And so I'm going to do the first one for us here, looking at 10% of 300. And so back to our notes, we know 10% is the same as 1 over 10. Okay, 10%, 10 out of 100 or 1 out of 10. And so what we're doing on this one is, for A, we're taking 10% of 300, 1/10 of 300, right? And so you're doing 1/10. Again, this is what you're going to be doing in your head, but I'm showing you the work. 1/10 of 300 is the same as how many times does 10 go into 300? So that's 30 there, okay? And so that's how you would think about it. The other way is that people just move the decimal one space. Remember, when you get 300, 1/10 of 300, divide it, you move the decimal, you divide by 10, one space. For 20%, what we're looking at for 20% is double of this, right? So it's 2/10 of 300. I already know 1/10, right? So that's 2 times 1/10, right? Times 300. And so the answer is 30 for this one, then this answer has to be 60. And using that same rationale, 5% has to be half of 300. So this would be 15. And 15% of 300 would be us adding together the 10% and 5%. 10% and 5%, it's like distributive property. This would be 45. So you do these mentally the same way. You break this up, right? That's 10 plus 5, and those are percents. And you can add those together. So that's like distributive property. Now over here, estimating is just using this here. And so this is, again, estimation is your way of doing it, how you may do it. I would just say this is I would turn this to 30% of 500. That's what I would do. Here I would make this 25% of 200. Put an of in there. This to me is 10% of 80. So getting an idea of what the answer, yeah, these problems are hard, but I can get a good estimate. 15% of 300, I would just do, actually, I would do 10%, and I could probably get the exact answer, actually, which we did over here. 15% of 300 is the same answer, it would be 45. But on these other ones, thinking about how I would estimate, right, the estimations, I'm going to change color. For this one here, 30% of 500, I know 10% is 50. So the way I think that I do 3 times 50, which would be 150, because 10%. Now that's not 29%, but it's close. That's my estimate. 25% of 200, I would do 1/4. That's a fourth. 1/4 of 200. And so my estimation is 50 also, because divide that by 4. 10% of 80 is 8, which is, again, so those are my estimates for that.